New double album. Where was your head at when you were writing this one? Was most of it written pre-quarantine, during quarantine?
Man, a little bit of both. We had quite a few songs that were ready to go before quarantine. I'd say around 20. I don't know, exactly. I haven't kept a tab on the exact numbers or exact, location and date of all of it, but I think it was probably around 20. And me and my manager were kind of joking around to each other about putting a double album out at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of 2020. And I didn't know if we'd have enough time. So my head was more of, well, that sounds good, but we've got 20. We may just need to whittle it down to 15 or something like that, pick the best 15 out of these 20. And then the whole COVID situation hit, and I figured we probably might actually have enough time now. So I started writing a little bit more than I had been. Got songs that I was really proud of and pleased with, and that kind of came from a different headspace too. So it felt like I brought, it was a little bit more of songs that were different than what we already had. And man, ended up getting to 32 total. With that'll be, there will be 32 once the exclusives come out and all that kind of stuff. So man, it was a task. I will admit that it was a lot of hard work and from a lot of people, and it's awesome to finally have it out and get it out into the world.
When you're writing, are you chasing a certain song? Like, have you ever sat down and said, I want the wedding song, I want the party song?
Not really. I try, whenever I write songs, I try to make sure that they're really just inspired and really honest and genuine. Sometimes we'll put a twist on them, I guess, which is more so how I would maybe explain it. Like Dangerous, for example, which we ended up using for the album title, but I didn't know that was going to be the case when we wrote it. It wasn't like, let's write the title song right now. A lot of times just with my music, it just kind of happens naturally so far anyway. I got into a little bit of trouble, and I wanted to write a song to myself, kind of talking just about that. And like we added a love story interest into the song just because I feel like more people can relate to that. But to me, it was just a song talking about myself being dangerous to myself sometimes.
When you have inspiration strike, what's the strangest place you've had inspiration from?
Well, there's one song on there called "Wondering About the Wind," and I was hungover one morning, sitting outside with my cousin at the beginning of quarantine. We were just sitting out there talking, and I had my guitar. I was just messing around, and out of nowhere, the wind just starts blowing super hard, and I don't know. It just triggered something in my head to compare the wind to a girl who kind of comes and goes as she pleases. So that was kind of weird. That's the first time that's really ever happened.
Your career, you've just been on this upward trajectory, 3 billion streams. And before Christmas, Spotify, they always send out that Wrapped report where all of us get to see who we listen to most. You've been 2 years running now. You've been my number one guy on Spotify. From the flip side of that, what's it like when you hear those kind of numbers?
It's pretty wild. I don't know. I feel so fortunate, man. I get to make music I love. I get to be honest. I don't really have to change anything. I mean, obviously I have to try and work hard, but I don't have to put on any sort of face. I don't have to do anything. I just get to be myself and live my life, and people appreciate that. And I honestly just couldn't ask for anything more than that, man. Just to be able to be open and honest with my fans, and for them to appreciate that the way they do it means a lot.
If you're in the car and 7 Summers Ago comes on, what do you do when it's on the radio? You crank it up, you turn it down, or does it depend on who's with you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends on my company. If I'm by myself, I'm cranking it, man. I'm gonna enjoy that and try to soak it in. And if I'm like with my family or something, or if I'm with people that I trust and love, which I usually mostly am these days, I'll turn it up. So most of the time I try to, because I'm always working so hard and got my head down, and we all are. So it's nice to just take a few minutes and enjoy what you've been able to accomplish.
Take me on a trip here. If you were to pick the perfect setting to listen to Dangerous, the double album, where are we? What are we doing? What's it smell like? What's the weather? Before we hit play on the double album?
I know I want to go to Wyoming. I've never really been to a ski town and got to spend any time, but they've always really interested me. Just the coziness of it, just the lodges and all that kind of stuff. I really like that. You know, go get into the lodge next to a fire, maybe a little whiskey, and just kick back and listen. Um, I think that would be a pretty decent place to listen to the album.
If you had to pick one, and I know this is tough, that people only had 4 minutes to listen to a song, which one would you say they should check out first?
That is tough. I think song number one of the whole album, "Sand in My Boots," is a special one. It's unique to me. Is a little bit different than what I normally do. I originally, piano was one of the first instruments that I learned, and this song kind of showcases that. It's going to give me a chance to showcase that in the live setting as well. I don't know. It's a different sound than I've had before, and I think it's a special song. So I'd say check that one out.
You're talking about playing and different styles. What's the first song that you ever learned how to play?
I had a gospel song, man, probably "Amazing Grace" or something like that. I grew up in church, and my dad's a preacher, and my mom, was very involved, and I started singing when I was 3 years old. I guess probably one of the first songs I learned to sing was "Jesus Loves Me" or something like that. But the song I actually learned to play would probably be "Amazing Grace," because that's still one of my all-time favorite hymns. Yeah, man, that takes me back.
I'm gonna say I didn't predict you saying that one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
With the album being called Dangerous, what's the most dangerous thing you've done or would like to do?
I don't know how high it was. I've jumped off about 100-foot cliff before into the water, and that was that hurt me pretty good. I couldn't breathe right for about 2 weeks, maybe more.
Is there anything on your bucket list other than the chalet at the ski resort that might be a little dangerous that you want to try out?
I've not snowboarded, so I'm gonna try that, which might be a little dangerous for my knees, I'm sure. But no, I don't know. I really I love adrenaline, like roller coasters and things like that. Those are some of my favorite things. We're riding horses, riding, side by sides, four wheelers, things like that. Anything that'll give me sort of a rush, I like. But I'm sure there's definitely an element of danger to it. But like I said, the dangerous thing is more of like a lifestyle situation.
Coolest thing that you own? If I was by your place, yeah, if I came by your place and you, Robbie, you got to check this out. You've never seen something like this before. What would you pick? And you can't say anything living, because people always say their pets or their spouses or whatever.
I'm trying to think if I even have anything cool like that. I haven't really had a chance to do much shopping or anything for myself. I've been so busy and focused on what I'm doing. I don't really have anything cool other than some guns.
Do you have a bunch of them, like a collection?
I have a decent amount, yeah. I got a cool AR that you probably like.
Do you get out to hunt much at all?
Not as much as I'd like to, man. I'm gonna go here in the next couple weeks and get out there. I got some buddies that all really like to go. We get out there and just it's just so nice to get away, man, and to be just a little more relaxed, and be out there with the world and nature. It's a good thing for me to kind of unwind and have a different mindset. I like fishing probably better than I like hunting. I really love to fish. Me and my cousin spend as much time doing that as we can. Just anything out in nature on the farm, is something that I really enjoy. I'm actually working on getting myself a farm right now, and hopefully being able to spend more time doing that would be beneficial for me, I think.
Is that because you're looking to find idle hands, that old saying, out of idle hands find?
I haven't necessarily been idle here lately at all, but there will be stretches where I have time on my hands, and that seems to be when I do get in my biggest amount of trouble. So I think it'll help.
And last thing, I'm going to play this little game that we kind of started the call off on. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm hoping you can try and guess what I'm going to say. Like when I say it, I'm going to be on mute. You have to tell me what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Canada loves Morgan Wallen.
Pretty easy. That's something you knew you were going to say anyway, right?
Well, I love to hear it as much as I can, because I love Canada, man. Y'all have been incredible to me.